The power of self-worth and self-esteem. Before we dive into the specific Stoic techniques, let's discuss the importance of self-esteem and self-confidence in the art of attraction. Self-esteem is the fundamental building block for personal growth, while confidence is the way you present yourself to the world. Why self-esteem is the first step to making someone obsessed with you. In relationships, self-esteem is crucial because it defines how you perceive your own worth. When you believe in your value, you stop seeking validation from others. Epictetus famously stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The same applies to your relationships. When you allow external factors to define your worth, you become vulnerable to manipulation and mistreatment. On the contrary, when you recognize your intrinsic value, you stand firm regardless of external circumstances. Self-esteem is your internal compass. When you value yourself, you create a strong foundation that others cannot shake. Your confidence radiates outward, and this often inspires admiration from others. Simply put, when you believe in your own worth, people will naturally be drawn to you. The role of self-confidence in relationships. Once your self-esteem is strong, self-confidence is the outward expression of that inner security. Confidence isn't arrogance. It's a calm, unwavering belief in your abilities, your worth, and your value. Seneca encapsulated this idea perfectly when he said, "A good character is not something we can see. It is something we need to discover." When you walk into a room confident, you don't just demand attention. You command respect. People can sense when someone is sure of themselves, and this magnetic energy is what attracts others. True confidence doesn't need to brag, it simply is.
Confidence stems from knowing your strengths and weaknesses and being comfortable with who you are. It's about mastering emotional regulation, not being swayed by the actions or opinions of others. This is crucial in relationships because often others may not value you as they should, and when you stand firm in your self-worth, you don't let that affect you.
Cultivating self-worth through Stoic practices. To strengthen both your self-esteem and self-confidence, Stoicism offers powerful tools. By taking a moment to assess your actions and mindset each day, you can evaluate whether you acted in alignment with your values. This daily practice helps you tune into your true self, reinforcing your value and purpose. Reflects my values. What could I improve tomorrow? This helps build a stronger connection with your own worth. 2. Negative visualization. Stoics believe in preparing mentally for life's challenges. Seneca often practiced negative visualization. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. By imagining the worst-case scenario, you can mentally prepare yourself for any outcome, which in turn strengthens your emotional resilience. Regularly visualize the worst possible outcomes in your life: losing a job, breaking up with a partner, or facing rejection. By accepting these possibilities, you reduce anxiety and foster an unshakable inner strength. 3. Amor fati, love your fate. Another powerful Stoic principle is amor fati, which means loving your fate and embracing every part of your life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Practice. Accept that life may not always go according to plan. Instead of resisting hardships, see them as opportunities for growth and transformation. Of self-esteem and self-confidence. Let's explore the 10 Stoic techniques that can make someone who doesn't value you start to think about you obsessively. The core of these techniques lies in shifting the power dynamic and embodying the Stoic virtues of self-control, detachment, and authenticity. True to oneself, there is no person so disreputable who does not have something to teach us. Why it works. People are drawn to authenticity because it's rare and genuine. When you show your true self unapologetically, it becomes a sign of inner strength. You aren't worried about being perfect. You're simply being you. Certain hobbies, or your personal style, show up as yourself. People will take notice because authenticity is magnetic. 2. Master emotional detachment. Stoic principle. Emotional detachment is essential to maintaining your self-respect and not becoming overly invested in the actions of others. Epictetus stated, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." Why it works. When you emotionally detach from the outcome of a situation, you stop chasing after validation. Neediness is repellent. People are more attracted to those who have their own emotional world and aren't desperate for attention. How to apply it? Practice detachment by letting go of the need for constant validation. If someone isn't valuing you, detach emotionally from the situation. Stop chasing them and let them see that you're content and whole without them. Curiosity and interest. Marcus Aurelius observed, "The more we value things outside our control, the less we value ourselves." Why it works. People often take things for granted when they are too easily available. By withdrawing attention, you create space for them to miss you and reflect on what they're missing. How to apply it. Be strategic with your availability. Don't always respond immediately to texts or calls. Create a sense of mystery and exclusivity. People are naturally drawn to what they can't have. 4. Pursue your own life purpose. Stoic principle. Purpose and direction in life are fundamental. Seneca encouraged us to live according to our highest purpose. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Why it works. People who are driven by their purpose are inherently more attractive. Purposeful individuals don't have time for emotional games, which creates intrigue. Become a person of purpose and prioritize your own growth over seeking validation from others. 5. Be unavailable, emotionally and physically. Stoic principle. Detachment from external validation is a core Stoic practice. As Epictetus taught, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Why it works. People crave what they can't easily get. If you make yourself emotionally and physically unavailable, the other person may start to see you as more valuable and start pursuing you instead of the other way around. How to apply it. Do not always be available. Set boundaries with your time and energy. Stop being the one to initiate contact and allow space for the other person to seek your attention. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Why it works. People are drawn to those who are strong and resilient. When you face challenges with a calm demeanor, others will respect your inner strength and be attracted to your fortitude. How to apply it. Don't be overly emotional or reactive when things go wrong. Show that you can handle stress and adversity with grace and calm. This displays strength and makes you more compelling. 7. Live with integrity. Stoic principle. Integrity is the foundation of all Stoic virtues. Epictetus advised, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." Why it works. People respect those who live in alignment with their values. Integrity makes you trustworthy, and trust is at the core of any healthy relationship. The art of self-sufficiency. Stoic principle. The Stoics believed in self-sufficiency, the idea that happiness comes from within. Seneca wrote, "A man is not good because of what he does, but because of what he is." Why it works. When you are self-sufficient, you are not reliant on others for validation, which makes you infinitely more attractive. Emotional independence signals maturity. How to apply it. Focus on building your own life, whether through career success, hobbies, or friendships. The less you rely on someone for emotional fulfillment, the more appealing you become.